Thankful to Coach Pittman for sure. But, I've had the opportunity to be around a lot of great football players and a lot of great coaches. And I've learned over the years, kind of seeing how it works. And I'm definitely ready for this no matter what age I am. And I'm ready to push these guys to be the best they possibly can be. And it's the only way I know. So, the age thing, I get it, but I only know one way to do this thing. So.
And then your relationship with Barry, obviously you played for him, and I know he loved you as a player. How important was it that he stayed? If he left, he might have gone with him somewhere. But how important was that for Coach Odom to get back?
It's awesome for this program. He's a great coach, great leader of men. Players love him. I love him. He's been probably the biggest role model in my life over the past few years. And he's shaped, my coaching career into what it is today. He's a guy I can't thank enough for everything he's done.
Trey Biddy.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations. You're a St. Louis guy, I believe. Obviously,
Yes, sir.
in Missouri. How do you think you'll be able to impact as a recruiter? What kind of areas do you see yourself taking over?
I'm definitely going to be in the Missouri area. That's what I know. That's what I'm comfortable with. But then again, I'm going to go find the best linebackers I possibly can in the country. I don't care where they're at. If you look at Coach Odom and his defenses and the success of the linebackers throughout these defenses, there's no reason why anyone in the country wouldn't want to come play linebacker here. You just look at last year, you can go back to Missouri, look at the guys we had there. I'm comfortable in Missouri. I know a lot of people there. Definitely going to touch parts of Dallas, but, I'm going to go all over, find the best players I can.
Nate.
Even though it's just a week, how much did it help having that Florida game experience where you were on the field and in practice and you're one of the main coaches?
It helped a lot. Obviously, I'm very familiar with all the players through that process and everything I've been doing with the team. We kind of carried on as almost normal business. Obviously, I had a few more responsibilities that week, but nothing crazy. I just kind of carried on as normal what I was doing throughout the year and helped more where I could. So I was just working out with the guys in there.
Thanks.
Alyssa.
Hi, congratulations. It must be nice, though, taking over a room with guys like Grant Morgan and Bumper Pool in them. And so obviously you have leaders in this room. What do you do to continue to help develop those guys who have had such tenure in this league and then continue to build depth behind them, which is something that this linebacker area has really needed for a while?
It's awesome to have leaders like Grant Bumper and Hayden Henry and Dede Edwards coming back as seniors. They definitely set the tone for the room. They're the example for all the guys. And so, obviously being younger, being new to this, it's good to have them to also be able to hammer those guys into shape, because the fact of the matter is they've been very successful in what we've done, right? And so to the younger guys, if they want to be successful, they just look at those guys.
Tom.
Give me 1 second. I'm still sweating from the workout in there. Thank you.
Hey, Michael. Nice to have you back, man.
All right, I'm back.
All right. Hey, Michael, this is Tom Murphy. You're unique among the new coaches in that you were here all last year. I'm wondering what you saw the dynamic between Barry and Sam and you kind of now fitting into that understudy type role there.
I not exactly positive. Can you ask your question again? I'm sorry. I didn't quite understand it.
I'm sorry. I didn't ask it very well. The dynamic that you saw between Barry and Sam, how tight they are, and then how you think you'll just fit into the dynamic with Barry.
I've been working with Sam and Barry for, I think it's 7 years now. Sam came to Mizzou when I was still a player there, and he was an analyst there for, I think, the last 2 years of my career there. And from that point on, being at Missouri with Sam and Barry, we are extremely familiar with each other. Obviously, we all traveled south together. So that relationship is super strong. Sam's like a brother. Coach Odom's, another father figure to me and has been that in my life since the moment he came back to Mizzou. So, it's kind of just continue on what we have, to be honest with you.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious what responsibilities you had as a defensive analyst, and if you carry some of the things that you learned in that position, as you're heading up your own position group now.
Yeah. So last year as an analyst, I'd say I, obviously spent time around the linebackers, but I also did a lot of deep diving into our scheme and the plays we were running and calls we would make during the game, so that when I was up in the box with Coach Odom, I could help him, make adjustments or, offer suggestions, whatever it is, as he's calling the game. We could work together, sit next to each other, things of that nature. So, really, I studied the scheme that we ran for hours and hours on end. Figured out every position on the field so that in the game I could be useful and make adjustments or help out where I could.
Touch.
Yeah, Coach, you and several of these other new hires, along with Coach Carter, are all pretty young guys. How much do you think that helps on the recruiting trail, being younger?
I think it helps to be able to relate to the kids. I also know, I think everyone's goal when they go to college is to graduate. And it wasn't too long ago that I went through that process, having to go to school, do football and everything else that comes along with it, and did it at a high level and successfully. And so I think that's a big part of it. And I think a big part of it is I've been in these kids' shoes, even from a recruiting standpoint, not that long ago. Yeah, it was 10 or so, 11 years ago. But not that long ago, I was also being recruited. So I understand some of the pressures they go through. Now, social media wasn't, Twitter and all that wasn't what it is now. So that's definitely different. I don't think the unlimited calls and texts, that wasn't a thing. But I understand, the process of recruiting. You're getting hounded by coaches, you're getting hounded by recruiting services, all that. And then also it's the process of making the transition to college and what that's going to take, what it's going to look like, the ups and downs that you go through, being a college kid, being a college athlete. I'm not super far removed from that. I still remember very much so what it was like. And so I think being younger, you have the ability to recall that and be closer to it and be able to really talk to the kids and have them give you feedback that's real and honest, because they know the position you're coming from. They know your perspective on things that, hey, this kid wants, or this guy, this my coach once did exactly what I'm trying to do. And I think we bring that to the table. Also, it's recruiting nowadays, you got to do whatever you got to do. There's times you hop on video games with kids, all different kinds of things that, being a little younger, I'm not great at video games, but I got a little bit of experience.
Clay.
Michael, just what coaching have you gotten just in the last few weeks from Coach Odom and Coach Pittman on recruiting? Because this is it's a big part of the job, and it's Coach Pittman said that was a big focus in the hiring process of the new additions.
To be honest, they both just told me to be myself, right? I mean, I think there's a reason that they thought I was fit for this job. I understand the importance of recruiting at this level and what it does for our team and our program. But it's really just be yourself, right? You're here for a reason, and that's it. I understand recruiting is a lot of work. It's being just building real, true relationships with kids. So maybe that's one of the things, but that's just kind of who I feel like I am day to day. And I've also had the ability to watch Coach Odom, to watch Sam, to watch all the great coaches I've been with in the past recruit. And I just sat back and watched and, kind of took mental note of everything they were doing. So I had that base underneath me, and, now it just comes down to being me and showing kids what we can offer.
Let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Bob?
Yeah, Michael, when Sam was on here a little earlier, he said, you know, part of his decision process obviously was about hiring you was talking to the players. He said the players just raved about you. How does that make you feel hearing that?
Uh, I mean, it's awesome that the guys feel that way. You know, since I've been here, they've been awesome to me, and I've tried to do everything I can to help them become better players and better human beings. And never did I, you know, plan on them saying anything about me ever to anyone ever. I like to be in the background of everything, but I really care about those guys, and they know that. And I care about them more than just football. And so I think, you know, it's an honor that those guys feel however they feel about me, but they also know that I'm going to push them to the absolute max. And I think they also respect that out of me because I'm, you know, I'm going to be hard on them, and they know that. And I think that's exactly what they want.
Last one, Clay.
So we've gotten to meet new coaches today. Tell us what you've learned just of late of Coach Ashley, that your linebackers and defensive line, they're going to spend a lot of time together. Just
No doubt. He's an incredible coach, very smart man. We've already been in the film room talking over some things. He comes from the background of a 3-down front there in Tulsa. And not only that, but they also produced the National Defensive Player of the Year, who was a linebacker, right? So there's a lot of things I can learn from him and what he knows about our scheme, and then transfer that over to our players. And hopefully we can have similar success doing what we're doing.
All right, that'll wrap us up with Coach Scherer. Thanks, sir.